This presentation is prepared by Mike Giogli of Department of Public Safety for about the 8th edition 1 and 2 family dwelling code of Massachusetts. What's new and why they had to change it. What are the most important reasons behind the changes? And let's go step by step. Housekeeping items. Here are a few housekeeping items. That means, oh, no, has nothing to do with this. 8th edition 1 and 2 family dwelling code. This presentation will be given to building officials, builders, and designers familiarize users with the new 8th edition format. Highlight some of Massachusetts changes in the 8th versus the 7th version edition. Highlight only some of the changes in the IRC 2009 versus the IRC 2003. Don't get confused. The IRC 2009 is the one that is the 8th edition is based on, and the 7th edition was based on this, the 2003. So just to mention, the IRC is an international code. Be found at the more information can be found at the Department of Public Safety website. And there's a disclaimer for this presentation. Anyone, not all information will be 100% accurate. Sometimes mistake or typo happens, so make sure to check on the information with other sources or the code book itself to make sure you get the right information. 8th edition status 1 and 2 family dwelling code, so code in effect. 7th edition has been replaced. So the code in 7th, some changes happened, and that code edition is no longer in effect or accepted by building official. Base code, so code in effect. This is also invalid for 7th edition. Advisory committees to highlight Massachusetts amendments that add costs. So it can be more costly to do work based on the 8th edition because it has more requirements. Building requirements, hierarchy, Massachusetts. So this is the hierarchy, the order of authority or jurisdiction or enforcement regulation power over the code. First is the Massachusetts General Law. That is the Massachusetts legislature, lawmaking body of Massachusetts government. Building code is regulated by the Board of Building Regulations and Standards. Official interpretations start from here. BBRS, Board of Building and Regulations Standards. So the Board of Building Regulations and Standards, that's how it's the whole sentence. Others are sheet metal. There is some change about sheet metal regulation. The license and permits are now required. So someone needs a license and also need to pull a permit for sheet metal. Code is currently based on International Mechanical Code 2009. Is the International Mechanical Code. All based on the 2009 updates of the International Code. So it's easier to remember. Everything's based on 2009. Code will be based on Uniform Mechanical Code. Needs to go to a public hearing when it comes to sheet metal regulation, sheet metal permits. Then I think the Uniform Mechanical Code is the Massachusetts Code. Building official training and dialogue sessions have been completed. Other studies. Sheet metal record. Okay, again. The 7th and 8th editions use I codes, but a little bit differently from how it was used now. The 7th edition was based on a 2000 International Residential Code plus amendments and some of the previous year I Code 2003 and 2006. And then here's the 8th edition. 8th edition is based on the 2009 International Residential Code, International Mechanical Code, International Electrical Conservation Code, plus the Massachusetts amendments, and all that boiled down collapsed into the 8th edition. The code also represents other Massachusetts codes, plumbing, electrical, etc., and I codes. I codes is the definition right here. I codes cover mechanical and energy requirement. So that's called I codes. The previous international code and the current 2009 international code have the same chapter name, so more content. So there will be more pages. Like the new one is almost twice the pages of the chapter on foundation. Floors is more, 30% more. Wall construction is more than twice the content. Roof ceiling construction almost twice, and roof assemblies just a page more. These are just examples. Why amend the 2009 IRC? The Massachusetts general law may exist which trump the code. So that's why Massachusetts needs to adjust some of the code to work along with the Massachusetts general law. Bring forward traditional local building practices. Address life safety versus cost issues such as sprinklers, hurricane resistant construction, tread and riser dimensions, etc. So sometimes we have to put a priority over life safety, and that can cost more to do. Avoid conflict with other CMRs, plumbing, electrical, etc. So suppose this 2000, the 8th edition would have less conflict between the code books. The 870 CMRs and the other CMRs. CMRs are code books for different areas. Using the 8th edition, how to find some requirements of tread dimensions for circular stairs. So this is an example how to find information. Go to the International Residential Code Index and look up stairways, the keyword stairways, and you'll get to chapter or section R311.7. Then search the amendments and go to this section in the amendment, and then you can read it. So say replace the second paragraph, then you just put this in and read the whole thing together. Replace them. We'll probably spend a minute or two later to just collapse the amendments into the International Residential Code and put them all together in electronic format so that the content goes smoothly and help to study better in a later video. 1 and 2 family dwelling code. In general, if you know the 7th, then you know the 8th edition. So the base codes are mostly the same, only some changes. But if you haven't studied that much, then you need to study the new version, all collapse together and mingle together and smooth out. That's not a bad idea. Some chapter differences and highlights. Chapter administration. Chapter 1. IRC sections flow with project. General applicability scope. Enforcement is Department of Building Safety, building official, duties of building official. Those are the subjects in early in chapter 1. Then they talk about permits, construction documents, what you need to include with the permits, temporary structures and uses, fees. Those are just basic stuff. Inspection and approval, inspection, certificate of occupancy. Service utilities are the same like before. R111. R112 Board of Appeals. Talk about problems, what to do when problems arise. Violation, stop work order, unsafe structures and equipment. Chapter 1 Administration Reference Code. So here are the some of the CMR that they talk about. It's good to keep this handy. It's a good piece of note. So if you not completely memorize the CMR, have this handy so you can go back to it and use it for reference. For example, the 780 is a residential 1 and 2 family. The code book itself is called 780 CMR, and then the code book for plumbing is 248 CMR. Electrical is 527 CMR 12. Access is 521. Fire prevention 527. So fire prevention is the same code book with electrical, except different section. Elevator 524. Sheet metal 271. And I see CMR 310, etc. But this is a basic list, and you can keep a list and make note or highlight so you'll know where to find your information, what CMR you're talking about. So, you can get some information or some answers on the exam wrong if you just get mixed up between these two numbers. Sometimes they throw it at you. The exam can switch plumbing to CMR 527, and you can lose some points just for that. So be careful. Exams are tricky. Administration reference codes. This is chapter 1. Specialized codes. Many codes are based on the Massachusetts general law, so they leave a section in here of the law. That's the rule to write these, but you can just ignore them when you study. This is needed or during the exam, so when in the exam you may have to pay a little bit of attention. Make sure you get the number right if they also include the number in the question. So make sure you have the right number, or you may get a wrong answer on the exam. So specialized codes is used in Massachusetts instead of or in conjunction with I codes. For example, the international code. So besides the international codes, there are probably specialized codes that are only special in Massachusetts. Well, let's stop the video and we can start on the next video.